Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
That is always the goal.
I'm your host, Fred Jones.
And I'm Daphne Blake.
And this is episode 184. You know, Daphne, I was just scrolling this morning, and it feels like we're in another one of those AI panic cycles.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. It's constant.
It's relentless, right?
Yeah.
Every other headline is about some new model making a job obsolete. It's exhausting just keeping up with the anxiety.
It is. It's the classic hype cycle. We swing between AI is going to save the world and AI is going to, steal your lunch. There's not a lot of middle ground.
Steal your lunch. That's
Yeah.
painfully accurate.
Yeah.
But that's exactly why I'm excited about what we're talking about today. We're going to step out of that noise.
Look back a little bit to get some perspective.
Exactly. We're looking at a piece that honestly saw the writing on the wall before a lot of people did.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It's an article called Why Technical Communicators Need to Develop AI Skills Right Now.
Very direct title. No messing around there.
Not at all. It was written by Guiseppe for the Mercer University Technical Communication Management blog. And here's the kicker, Daphne. The publication date was March 29, 2025.
Wow. Okay, so a year ago. In AI time. That feels like a lifetime.
It really does. So sitting here in 2026, looking back, it's almost spooky how right he was. He pinpointed that exact moment AI went from being this, thing on the horizon to an essential skill.
It really was a tipping point, wasn't it? I remember that feeling.
So Giuseppe identified this specific tension. He called it a widening gap. What was he talking about there?
Well, think about the landscape in early 2025. You had the industry, the companies, the hiring managers.
Right.
And they were all demanding AI skills. They needed people who could use these tools immediately.
So demand was just skyrocketing.
Exactly. But on the other side, you had the educational programs, the universities.
And let me guess, they weren't quite moving at the same speed.
Precisely. They were lagging. Giuseppe's point was that this shift was violent in its speed.
Violent? How so?
Usually a new tool gets adopted over, 5 or 10 years. AI skills went from being a nice-to-have to a must-have almost overnight. That gap was between what schools were teaching and what the market would actually pay for.
That's a scary thought. But when I hear AI skills, I immediately think I need to become a coder. Start learning Python, build neural networks.
Right, the whole green code raining down the screen image.
A little bit. Is that what you were saying? That tech writers need to become software engineers?
No, and that's the most common myth. He busts that right away. He says, look, I'm not talking about coding from scratch.
Okay, phew. That's a relief.
I mean, if you can, great. But the job isn't building the engine. It's about driving the car.
A very useful distinction. So if we're not coding, what are we doing?
We're managing the impact.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how a tool like ChatGPT enhances communication or, and this is the key part, how it hinders it.
Hinders it. The sales pitch is always that it's just faster and better.
Faster? Yes. Better. That's not a given. The new skill isn't coding, it's shaping. Shaping the technology to actually serve the user.
Okay, shaping is a good word.
Yeah.
The article lists some concrete skills, though, right? Let's get into the weeds on that.
Yes. The foundation, the absolute bedrock of it all, is AI literacy.
AI literacy. Sounds like a course you'd take freshman year. What does that mean for a professional?
It's deeper than just knowing how to use the tool. It's knowing what it can do, and just as important, what it can't do. You have to know its limitations.
Can you give me an example of a limitation?
Well, take something like tone. An LLM is a prediction engine. It doesn't know anything. So if you ask it to write, say, an empathetic message for a recalled medical device.
It might sound completely robotic or just weird.
Exactly. It could sound hollow or strangely cheerful. It lacks that human nuance. AI literacy is about knowing when to use the tool and when to write it yourself.
It's like knowing a chainsaw is great for a tree, but maybe not for a bagel.
That is a very vivid way to put it, Fred. But yes, that's it. Use the wrong tool, you make a mess.
Okay, so we know what the tool is. We're not using it on the bagel. Now what? The article mentions prompt engineering.
The big buzzword of 2025.
I have to be honest, Daphne, prompt engineering always sounds a little inflated. Isn't it just typing?
Well, poetry is just typing if you want to be reductive about it.
Touché. Okay, explain it to me.
Think of it as programming with natural language. It's how you structure your inputs to get quality outputs.
So you can't just type, write me a manual for a toaster.
You can, but you'll get garbage. A generic manual that might even invent features the toaster doesn't have.
Because it's just predicting the most likely words.
Right. A prompt engineer adds constraints. They'd say, Act as a technical writer. Your audience is senior citizens. Use simple language. Focus on safety. Output in Markdown.
Ah, I see. It's about building a box for the AI to play inside.
Precisely. You're communicating your intent to the algorithm. We're still communicators. The audience is just a machine for a moment.
That's a great way to think about it.
And honestly, getting the text out is only half the battle. What comes next is arguably more important. But before we get to that, I think it's a good time for a quick pause.
You are absolutely right. Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast. Before the break, we were talking about prompt engineering, getting that first draft out of the AI.
Right. So we've prompted the bot. It gave us a draft. We're done, right? Hit publish and go to lunch.
Please don't do that. That's how you get into trouble. This leads right into the third skill Guiseppe identifies: critical analysis.
This feels like the human safety net.
It is the safety net. This is where the human value really comes in. You have to evaluate the AI-generated content aggressively.
But what are we looking for? I mean, the grammar's usually perfect.
It is, but Guiseppe breaks it down into 3 things to check for: accuracy, coherence, and inclusivity.
Okay, accuracy seems obvious. Did the AI make stuff up? Right. It hallucinates. It can sound incredibly confident while being completely wrong. If you're writing instructions for a pacemaker, mostly accurate doesn't cut it.
It's like a very confident intern.
Exactly. Then there's coherence. AI writes smooth sentences, but it can struggle with a smooth argument over a whole document. It repeats itself, it loses the thread.
So you have to be the editor, making sure it all hangs together.
You do. And the third one, inclusivity, is huge. You have to remember, AI models are trained on the internet.
And the internet is, well, it's the internet, full of bias.
Full of bias, full of stereotypes. If you aren't careful, the AI will default to that. It might assume a doctor is a he and a nurse is a she, for example.
So critical analysis is about being a filter. You're scrubbing the output.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Which leads to the final skill, and I think it's the heart of the article. It's ethical awareness.
Now, why does that fall on the technical communicator? Isn't that someone else's job?
Well, think about our role. We're the bridge between the product and the user. Guiseppe's argument is that if we don't get involved, these systems will be built without any thought for usability or ethics.
So the engineers make it work, but we have to make sure it works for people.
Exactly. He brings up concepts like user agency and equity.
User agency, what's that?
It means the user is in control, not the bot. Have you ever been stuck in one of those customer service chat loops you can't escape?
All the time. It is incredibly frustrating.
That's a loss of user agency. That's bad design. We have to be the advocate in the room saying, hey, this workflow is disempowering for the user.
So it's about being an advocate for the human on the other end of the screen.
It is. If we aren't at that table, those conversations might not happen. That's a responsibility we can't just give away.
It really changes the job description from just writing manuals.
A job that's much harder to automate, wouldn't you say?
No question. And Guiseppe wasn't just guessing about all this. He brought data. He brought receipts.
Oh, he definitely did. The bibliography was stacked. He cites a Harvard Business Review article from way back in 2023 that was already warning about this.
And that study about job ads, right?
Yes, the Arseviv preprint from 2024. They analyzed job ads and found a massive, statistically significant spike in demand for ChatGPT skills. It was hard data.
This was the market screaming for these skills.
Exactly. And it wasn't just tech. He cites sources showing this was happening in pharma, at Salesforce, across the board. The demand for human-AI collaboration was exploding.
It paints a picture of a tidal wave. You either learn to surf or you get pulled under.
That's the reality. The market doesn't wait for the curriculum to catch up.
So, Daphne, let's bring it all home. What's the bottom line for everyone listening?
The bottom line is that we have to broaden our skills to stay relevant. The job is changing. But I think the final insight is more positive.
Go on.
It's that we need to engage with these tools to make sure they work for people, not just at them.
I love that distinction, working for people.
It puts the human back at the center. We're not being replaced, we're being elevated, but only if we do the work. If we hide from it, we leave the future to people who might not care about the user as much as we do.
That is a really powerful thought. And here's something I want to leave you with. If you're in tech comm or any knowledge field and you haven't started this journey, you're already behind. The future of this field depends on your adaptation. The tools are here. The real question is, are you going to drive or are you just going to be a passenger?
That's the question, isn't it?
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.